Hello, this is Horror Studio 1, and this is my unedited podcast. This is Horror Studio 1, and I'm coming to you once again with the late night unedited podcast. And I say that because where I live right now, it's actually very late at night, and I've had a pretty long day. But I just felt like making a final podcast for you guys before I go to ZZZ. So, I tend to not want to record podcasts that late at night, or at least I try not to do that. But sometimes, you know, the schedules and time conflicts, you're left with the best thing you got. So you would have to record it at nighttime sometimes, and you're forced to do that. So one of the reasons was actually, I just thought of this, was there is this one commenter, a viewer of mine, who said that it sounds like she's referring me to as a machine that kind of ran out of gas. I guess it's just my less enthusiastic voice during nighttime. Maybe I'm tired or whatever like that, but you know, I feel this is truly who I am, and I want to share that with you guys. And you know, it's a podcast, so it's not as, you don't have to be as diligent or as quick as a video, like a normal video. There's not any editing. So yeah, so I'm a slow person in real life, guys. So what you gonna do about that? Anyway, so you know, that's why I kind of avoided recording at night. I record it in the day when I have a lot of energy, and it actually helps the flow of the podcast sometimes. But sometimes I just like to feel like I'm more chill when I'm doing this. So you guys get a more of a realistic sense of who I am. And you know, sometimes you guys are listening to these and you guys are doing other stuff right now too, right? Some people say they're working out, which, you know, I don't mind. Or you're, you know, cleaning your house, or you're taking the bus, or you're driving your car. It doesn't really matter. Just as long as whatever you're doing, make that the priority, and don't let me distract you too much, because I don't want any more car accidents because of HS1 kind of thing. So, you know, just a bit about that. And actually, I wanted to address one thing before starting the main topic of discussion for today, is that I like drinking tea, so I'm gonna drink some tea first. Yes, today it is tea. Yeah, I haven't drank anything on air in a long while. Now my family's telling me that I should buy like one of those on-air signs, so when I'm recording shit, I can put it at my door so they don't barge in here again, which they previously did, and it wasn't flattering. Anyways, enough about my family. One thing I wanted to address before the meat of the topic of the video is that, you know, I kind of feel like doing this YouTube channel, and I guess that's kind of the trend of how everyone's going these days. We're all kind of shifting towards the true scary stories, and it's not even the true ghost scary stories that a lot of us have been doing. Actually, a lot of us have been shifting to, you know, serial killer scary stories, deep web scary stories. You know, basically the more graphic stuff, the more realistic stuff, because sometimes when I used to think about ghost stories, I used to think it was a good way for, like, a sense of a way in which you can escape reality for at least a couple of minutes or an hour, for you to delve in another world where anything is possible. You know, that's what I thought about when I thought about creepypastas or ghost stories, or even true ghost stories. They may be real or deemed to be real, but it's something that's unusual in this world and not realistic. It's not supposed to be realistic. That's why ghost stories exist. That's why ghosts are a thing, you know? It's a media, a form of genre kind of thing. And I feel like the horror channels that, you know, we're doing now, that I do, that a lot of other individuals do, have basically shifted towards Reddit. Let's not meet stories, or top 10 serial killer stories, or pedophile stories, or any kind of those kind of real graphic stories. And I think that's just a trend that's happening, and I am guilty of doing the same thing. I do stalker stories, I do deep web stories, and I feel like I don't know. That may be the trend, but it kind of feels like that stuff is too real. Like that is actually happening, you know? And I get it kind of just takes away from the mysterious and the supernatural essence of a ghost story and how it was supposed to be, in my opinion. So I don't know, I may be cutting down on a lot of the stalker stuff more and focusing more on, you know, just the traditional ghost stories, which I've always enjoyed, you know. But granted, I am a channel, and yeah, you can say how much you don't care about views, you don't care about popularity, but sometimes you just gotta go with the flow sometimes, and thus I've done a few of the Reddit stuff as well. Not saying that I don't like doing that, but it's just that I think about the past and how I think about the past before I started YouTube, and every horror channel was a creepypasta channel. Like, there was rarely any that talked about true ghost stories at all, right? I mean, I remember when back in the day when I tried to find ghost stories online, it was such a hard ordeal. Like, I would try to find it, and it would be one video by one person, you know, about a Japanese urban legends or some shit like that, and it would have like 1 million views because no one had those kind of stories. It was barely anyone, you know, online doing anything about horror, you know, besides those that post horror movies. There was nothing like original horror content, you know, stuff like that. And if you look at it right now, I mean, there's 1 million videos, you know, from us, you know, the horror community that has 1 million videos on you know, every type of horror there is, you know. I did, you know, Asian ghost stories, which I will be back. And for those individuals who want me to keep doing those Asian ones, those Asian stuff, I will do more of those, I promise. I've been slacking, but I'll come back, and you guys don't worry about that. And yeah, I mean, there's the Asian ones, there's ones on Reddit, there's every kind of, there's fucking ghost rape. Like, I keep referring back to my own video about ghost rape, but ghost rape, how specific, how niche would you have to get? So, you know, there's all these types of horror videos and ghost videos right now in the world. So the market has expanded, and that's why I think people have kind of become desensitized a little bit to the ghost stories that everyone puts out, the scary stories, top 10 scary stories that everyone puts out, that we need to go and find, you know, police officer ghost stories, or, you know, shit like that. Just very specific, or very, or we go beyond that and, you know, do what I was talking about, like the serial killers, or, you know, maids that kill, nurses that kill. Like, we have all those now, and Skype stories. You know, there's many of these categories now because there's so many, and it's hard for individuals to survive and get a good, you know, good audience when there's 1 million other videos that are just like yours, kind of thing. And I can, you know, I can preach to that pretty well, because I'm one of the individuals who are putting out videos, and, you know, the views, you know, the view count is, you know, is not always going to be as consistent. Like, I wish it were as consistent so you can have an estimate, but sometimes you just can't predict those kind of things, and sometimes you think your video is going to do okay, but then it falters, and sometimes you think this is going to be a stinker, but then, you know, people surprisingly take an interest to things you didn't find interesting yourself. So, you know, that's the whole thing. You know, I guess that's the whole thing about doing arts and doing drama and doing any type of performance, or putting yourself out there, testing the waters kind of thing, doing something that's not traditional, is that you don't know how people's reactions are going to be, but if you get a good reaction, then it's gonna be totally an explosion kind of thing. I just saw online, actually, when I'm recording this is, you know, like a week back, so, you know, whatever. I recorded this a bit too early, I guess, but there's one news on YouTube that says that PewDiePie has just reached 10 billion views, right? 10 billion views. So that's pretty fucking insane. You know, if you can, you know, hit the mark of something like that, like a PewDiePie YouTube channel with 10 billion views, then, you know, so, I mean, why not try? You know, why not try? How would you know? If I didn't try doing true ghost stories, I would still be just doing creepypastas. I wouldn't know. Like, my first true ghost story video I ever did was my most popular video ever. You know, my up until now. I mean, I always think that one day I'm going to have a video that's going to surpass that. It's 23 true ghost stories from the internet, and I didn't think it would explode like that, but it did. It has 200,000 over 200,000 views, and that's way surpasses any of my other videos. Let's say I never made that video, I would lose 200,000 views on my channel and a substantial amount of subscribers as well. So, you know, that's why I put out content as regularly as possible, and I encourage all you guys to just give it a try, because you never know what's going to be up there. You know, go for it. That's the thing. So, enough about me. Let's start the topic of the day. Let me get a drink of water first. So the topic of the day is Korean celebrity stalker. So it's pretty interesting. I was doing the Korean ghost videos, and I found a bunch of celebrity stories, and I found this one stalker story that I wanted to tell you guys, and maybe give a bit of my own opinion on it. And you know, what is stalking? And do pretty girls always get stalked? I'm pretty sure they do. So I'm just gonna read you guys this, and yeah, here we go. One day, Da-in, which is a Korean actress, received a text message. It was an encouragement from a 486 number. This year's best actress is Lee Da-in, said 486. At that time, Da-in wasn't very well known, so she said that she felt really encouraged by the thought of a fan cheering her on. She asked those around her what 486 meant, and they said that it was "I love you" in number form. How is that "I love you"? Okay, I guess Korean "I love you." Hearing this, she was really thankful towards the fan. But then the text started to take a weird turn. One day a text came when Da-in had worn a red dress to work. "You look good in the red dress," 486 said. Da-in was scared, so she returned home with her manager. "You're finally here, but who's the guy next to you?" said 486. Da-in was frightened, so she quickly ran inside her house. The actress changed her phone number due to the stalker. When she had relaxed, her phone rang. "Congrats on changing your number," 486. She felt extreme shock and left her work early to return back home. Back at home, she felt relieved, seeing her house as a sanctuary. To wash away the stress, Da-in took a shower. The moment she stepped out, her phone rang. It was from the 486 number. This time a video was included. The actress was scared, but curiosity got the best of her, and she opened the video. The moment she saw the video, she threw her phone away. It was of a guy wearing a clown mask and spinning round and round. Okay, that's the story. Is that a fucking urban legend or what? It sounds like such an urban legend. So, you know, story, this pretty Korean actress gets a stalker that's basically stalking her. And I mean, doesn't this happen to female celebrities all the friggin' time? Pretty girls, I mean, pretty girls in general. Like, if you look at YouTube, there's a lot of those, like a really popular type of video for YouTubers right now, for female YouTubers is, my Stalker Story or some shit like that. And then they, you know, those usually have like enormous amount of views, because I guess everyone wants to hear about everyone else's stalker stories. I don't have any. Well, I've stalked a bunch of people before. No, I haven't. Anyways, yeah, I mean, that's basically every pretty girl I think has gotten stalked sometime by at least someone. So, and especially if you're a celebrity and people fall in love and like you know. Maybe I'll get stalked one day. I don't know. But if you guys find out who I am, maybe you guys will stalk me. That'll be kind of creepy though. for people to stalk me. I don't think I've ever been stalked before. That's kind of weird. I've actually had one experience though. I can tell you guys a bit about that. When I was going to school in a different city, because I basically used to go to school in like the worst like crime city of, you know, Ontario kind of thing. So I'm not sure if you guys know what city that is. Some people have been guessing some crazy shit. It's not Scarborough. Some guy said Scarborough last time on the comments. It's not that city. It's another city. It's pretty far away. And then I was just walking in the street one day, and then these group of people are just standing around, about like 3 guys and like 1 chick or something. And the girl comes over to me, and she goes right up to me and she's like, "Hey, can I have your phone number?" And I'm like, yes, you know, the first time in my life that a female has asked me for my phone number. And I felt very good about myself, and I was like, yeah, sure, who's it for? And she's like, "Oh no, it's for that guy right there, I think he likes you." So basically, I'm pretty sure her friend was, you know, he liked guys and then wanted my phone number. So I was like, oh man, dreams shattered. Anyways, fucking no, that fucking happened. Anyways, I'm not sure if they were just fooling around or if he really wanted my number, but I didn't give. I was like, and I was like, no, it's okay. And then they were like being kind of rude. They were like, "Come on, give me your number." And I was like, yeah, 416-222-911. For you guys who don't know, 911 is the police station's number. So I was kind of a dick, I guess. But I was like, they were kind of like being obnoxious, I guess. But anyways, I guess they're just playing around with me. I don't know. So yeah, that fucking happened. Horror Studio 1. This kind of reminds me of the film Taken, though. So that's what the next level is. Liam Neeson's Taken. That'd be pretty fucked up. See, I was talking to my friend the other day about the movie Taken, because they really liked the movie Taken, and I was telling them, I was like, dude, like, Taken is like, if Liam Neeson wasn't there, she would be in a fucking red room. Like, you know, the deep web red room where they kill her, they auction to take, you know, cut off her arm. Like, that shit would be going on. And I told my friends that, and obviously that's, I guess, the idea, if her father wasn't like a superhero or something. So I actually wanted to make a creepypasta. It's, you know, this story did kind of remind me of like this thing I wanted to do. Was I wanted to create a creepypasta that talked about a stalker stalking a celebrity. I don't know, I'm really good with those. I don't know, maybe my mind's just fucked up or something, but I'm basically really good in putting myself in like a villain's shoes and describing their emotions towards things. And I wanted to do that for like just create a creepypasta. I actually wanted, but like the reason I haven't written that yet is because I actually wanted to use the name of like a real celebrity, but I was afraid that, you know, if you guys haven't heard of Mr. Nightmare's Chuck E. Cheese incident, you know, they take that shit pretty seriously sometimes. I know I want to get a phone call from, you know, Kate Upton's manager being like, "I'm gonna have to terminate your channel because can't use her name and do this creepy ass shit story," kind of thing. But for you guys that didn't know, I did want to use Kate Upton. Yeah, she's very beautiful, and I wanted to use Kate Upton as like, no, I'm fucking serious. Like, that's who I wanted to use. Like, what other celebrity is like, you know, popular enough but also young enough right now? Like, I mean, a lot of the celebrities that we as teenagers thought were like goddesses, like Megan Fox or Scarlett Johansson, like they're pretty, you know, I mean, they're still beautiful, but I mean, you know, time is a cruel thing, and you know, they're not 25 anymore. You know what I mean? So I mean, they're still great, but I mean, I wanted someone that's more like relevant to the teens right now. So I wanted to do Kate Upton and stuff like that, but I was afraid that I would get a call from some manager telling me to shut down my YouTube account or get sued. So I didn't create that story. And like, the more I learned about copyright, like when I first started my YouTube channel, I had no fucking idea about anything about copyright. You know, I was such an idiot. You know, I didn't even know about copyright from music. Like, I thought you could use any type of music you wanted. And then, you know, thank God I did some kind of research before posting my first video, or else I might have gotten in some trouble. So, you know, of course now I use, you know, some sources I use, like Peter B. Helland. You know, that guy's a great composer. For you guys wanting to find good music, just email him, be like, can I use your music? And then, you know, he'll let you use it as long as you credit him, and I do all the time. So, you know, I love that guy. Thank you so much, bro. And yeah, I mean, just some thoughts on celebrities and being stalked, and just in general girls being stalked. Is it stalking, or is the person just being forward? You know what I mean? I mean, yes, in this scenario, when the ending is the guy dressed up as a clown spinning around and round, that of course is like over the top. Is obviously not just me trying to seduce you, right? You're never gonna try to get with a girl by sending them a video of you dressed as a clown spinning. Like, that would be clowny clown. That worked for CRISPR Glovin. I don't know. Is it CRISPR? Yeah, okay. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go search that video, clowny clown. It's fucking crazy shit. Anyways, yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, are you just being forward with the girl? And a lot of girls take that into offense. And a lot of girls, they don't know where. They say they want a guy to be forward, and a guy to be confident, and a guy to initiate or holler at them or whatever, or heckler. Is it heckle? I don't know. Basically, just shout them out and be like, hey, you know, let's do whatever. But then in the back, they always kind of say that there's this thing where if you're too forward, it could actually have a negative effect, or it could be a fucking criminal charge. They can charge you for like harassment or some shit. And where is that line? I guess you just have to be socially conscious with that, I guess. But I always believe in the back of a woman's mind, they still like a guy to be more forward, I guess. I'm not a relationship guru, and I don't want to give that type of advice, but it's just my general opinion from just, I guess, biology and how we were, you know. Even though we don't like to admit it, we're still animals. Like back in the day, in caveman time, the men that survived were the, you know, the alpha males, you know, the ones that went out and killed their prey and brought it home and cooked it for dinner, and their family was the one that survived and prospered, and their genes were powerful, you know. They had good kids, powerful, strong kids. That's why I think women in their subconscious, they want a strong man to take them. You know, but it's just that current society does not allow that. But in the very deep edges of a woman's mind, she probably would prefer a more dominant male as opposed to a submissive one. Of course, in this situation with the Korean pop star, it's not just fucking it. That's just creepy shit. But I mean, in general, like, I think women want that in a man kind of thing. And that's why I think men like women a certain way as well. Like, even if we'd like to believe that it to be a factor or not, men like women who are beautiful, who are young and beautiful and can look like they can bear children. I mean, I'm not saying this just from me, but this is like how human minds are known to work. It's men like women who can bear them successful offspring. And same with women, they want a man who can provide for them and have their offspring prosper as well. So I mean, that's the reason why humans, you know, originally existed, and I think all life forms exist, is to reproduce and have have their genes basically passed on to the next generation. That is why there is this thing, why we are here, basically. So even though we are, you know, 2015 and we have technology and all that crap, that mentality, it's still ingrained into our brains, you know, whether we like it or not. And I mean, that's why you see, like, in this scenario, the man is going to be forward because the man is going to be the hunter, right? The one that takes the prey, that looks at it, that claims it, kind of thing. I mean, and the woman is the one that's running away right now. And of course, in this scenario, this woman, Da-in, does not fucking like this guy, right? Obviously not, and she should call the cops. But I mean, it's just that mentality is always existed, in my opinion. So regardless, I still think Korean pop star being stalked, that's pretty fucked up. I think that's why guys stalk girls. They subconsciously, it's like a man, like a hunter stalking their rabbit. I don't know. I hope my comments weren't sexist, but I'm just saying, like, biologically, that's how society used to work, and it has basically a piece of that reptilian brain is still there with us, and we can't deny that. We really can't. Like, emotions exist. You know, sexual urges fucking exist. Like, you can't deny that as a fact. Even though how sophisticated we are as human beings, we are still, in the very end, there's that animalistic thing, and I think that's why people are so afraid of stalkers, and why those when I was talking before, the realism is so scary, because at the end of the day, you know that this isn't just an imaginary story or a ghost or booze, nothing like that. It's something that actually can kill you. And the stalker, you know, the guy that keeps calling your house, and the guy that goes to your door and hides under your bed and dresses like a clown and has a knife, he can stab you to death. And that's why we're afraid of stalkers, in my opinion. And, you know, those kinds of violent stories. And this is just one of them. So if you guys want more violent stories by celebrities, I think I'll probably do a 20 celebrity ghost story or something like that. But or stalker story, depending, you know. But I want to get back to ghosts more. I love the ghost stories a bit more, I have to admit. So anyways, this is Horror Studio 1, and yeah, today was a good podcast, I think. It was a pretty good one. Thank you so much again for listening to me, and thank you guys. Guess I'll be going now. Bye-bye. See ya.